Goots, yes, I'm just sitting up here slightly relieved that my skin will remain untouched and untainted by a tattoo of a snake. But EnVyUs, defending champions, Henry, back against the wall early in this tournament.
Yeah, people aren't looking that confident about them either. Here we go then, up against Gambit Gaming. The pistol round has started. We're on cash, and it's going to be EnVyUs on the T side here as well. 4 sets of armor, Apex on the utility as well. It's looking actually an interesting tactic here. I can see 3 players towards the squeaky door, and we've got a little bit of aggression from Dosia as well towards A main. Apex waiting for him, and this looks like probably an explosive tactic coming in here. Good positioning from the CT to get intel, but the fallback from that squeaky door area could prove problematic.
Gambit, considered by many as the dark horse in this tournament, had a decent qualifier when teams there didn't know much about them. Could be a threat as long as EnVyUs get a good start. That will all be commenced, I guess you could say, by NBK. But look at Waylander pushing up. He takes the fight immediately back, and he's got 3 headshots immediately. Bomb dropped down. He's got control of the map, and despite that Mo is low HP, he finds Happy at middle. It's all down to the man who opened up the frags. Fortunately for him, it's Mo and Waylander on very low HP. But what a way to take the fight back. You lose 1 out towards Squeaky, and suddenly you just take mid immediately away.
Well, this is the thing. EnVyUs actually had 3 players towards it. They find the pick, and normally when you do that kind of strategy, you're pushing the bomb site, you're getting in and taking advantage of the situation. They fell back, and Waylander's already got positional control of the mid-warehouse, and all of a sudden, 3 amazing headshots from him. Can't take anything away from that. And here we go then, a 3-on-1 situation. MBK with the bomb towards that squeaky door right now. It's quite a passive setup from the CTs towards the A-bomb site. They are going to allow him to get out. I'm sure they're going to be spotting it any second. There it is, and now they're going to be aware of his position.
Do what he can with this bomb, because him getting this down, and he should, based on this angle, will allow an earlier buy. Again, still a lot of work to do. Now, they need to be sure that Adren is careful about how he approaches this situation, because, again, it's low HP on 2, so fortunately they have grouped up. But it's Adren that goes down early. There's a real chance for NBK, 26 HP. It's not great either. And Mo's going to find this shot over top of the box.
Look how low the HP of the remaining CTs was as well. That was very close indeed. Once MBK found that first kill, he had a real chance of doing that. He gets the bomb down, so it's not all lost here, but EnVyUs had such a huge advantage there. Obviously, we've got Happy at the helm of the calling now as well, Matt. Obviously, that's a change coming in from the last few weeks, and that was an interesting decision from him, I have to say. Getting that pick onto the A-bomb site, you've had 3 players already committed to that side of the map, inside the squeaky door, no less. And for me, once you get that kill, you're getting onto the site, you're taking over at that point, but they decided to fall back. Wayland is stepping up massively there. And ultimately, EnVyUs do lose the pistol, but they did get the bomb down, and actually going to be going for the straight-up force fight this round. So we've got Galils, PT50s, Deagles, everything. They're going for it. So most teams will normally go for the save round on this, number 2, but it's MBK opening things up there onto Hooch, takes him down the headshot with the Galil, and now they have got the advantage as well.
And this is one of the things that's tainted EnVy's success in some ways. It's something we often talk about, is how aggressive they are with the buys. But crucially, NBK does start this off well with said rifle. Kenny goes very low, down to 11 HP, drops off the initial boost as they try to evaluate what exactly was going on toward mid.
It's like a dream scenario for them, right? The CTs aren't expecting this Gilord to be coming out at the start. He's going for the face, wants to get that early information for the rush. Gets his head ripped off by MBK, and now they've got a real chance of this. Going towards that A-bomb site, can just do simple smokes here, stick together. There's going to be Kenny S, who's on 11 HP, but they're going to slow things down, bleeding the CTs out. You can see they've got 1 flashbang remaining as well. EnVyUs still have smoke grenades, flashbangs, and molotovs as well. It's looking very promising for them.
Mo crosses. Molotov out behind quad, so we can't go all the way over, but he gets himself in decent position to spot up 2 coming into the site. It's Dosia, though, that does find the kills on entry. It's 2 versus 3 in the post plant, so once more, NB do get a bomb down, with this early plant, or the early buy. And again, with the man advantage, but Doja is going to find Devil going inside of the smoke. That's going to bring this back to 2 versus 2. No kits out on either of the CT players. Waylander finds Apex, though, and it's Happy far away with an MP7, who needs to try and make this happen early, and it's Waylander once more that will pick up a multiple kill round and take the fight immediately back to EnVyUs.
Waylander was the hero of the pistol. He does similar antics here on the second round force buy from EnVyUs. They get the bomb down once again, but still a round you heavily favoured for them. They had the man advantage. They have the utility going into the bomb site there. Just unable to make the exchanges work for them favourably. Comes down to that 2-on-1, and Apex caught in a horrible position. MP7 in hand, and didn't really have vision of the bomb either. And this is Dosia from the spawn area. He's getting kills through the smoke, doing a lot of damage as well. And that's ultimately what saved them there. So we go into round number 3. It's not going to be much invested into this by EnVyUs. We're going to see Devil with the PT50 and body armor. He's pretty much a heavy buy here. Apex, MBK with Desert Eagles.
I mean, the interesting thing about this is it'll go 3-0 as per standard, and they'll still get a buyout in the 4th round because they got that second bomb plant. So it's not like that force is actually going to make it any worse than what you'd see in a typical scenario.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you get the bomb down in both those rounds, you're okay. You're going to recover. But here we go then. Gambit Gaming have got 5 rifles. This should be a throwaway round. It'll be the case of EnVyUs trying to get that bomb down once again. If someone could go absolutely massive with a deagle, as we see Apex boosted up here, that could be interesting, but the CT shouldn't really be giving anything away at this point.
Stays up there as well. Okay. Just showing, but it's a Dread instead that goes down to that deagle as Apex had it lined up perfectly. Spots a second one inside the Z connector as well. Chance for the double, but falls away instead. Nonetheless, again, they find the early pick. And if bomb plants have been the praise, there's chance for another here because they could start to divide and conquer this defense, who have split themselves and gone more passive, not wanting to overextend and get caught out. In the situation where rifles are still in their favor, it's going to be Hooch to come back down the highway, join up with Mo. Apex has dropped into the cubby, but look at Waylander's position because they just rotated Mo away from him, and it looked like he was going to come under pressure early.
They actually headshot him as well, so Waylander's gone down to 28 HP. EnVyUs now slowly but surely edging their way in towards middle and the B storage as well. It's going to be Mo picking up MBK, but the execution will be coming to the B site momentarily to assume, but it seems like Gambit are recovering this situation. Now there's going to be one player remaining, that's Kenny S in a 4-on-1. From what looked like a promising round from that initial kill from Apex, it's falling apart now. Kenny S does pick up the kill onto Mo. So I think that's all he's going to be getting out of this as the bomb is down towards the CTs in the site right now.
Okay, going to just rotate back around, try and pick up that bomb again. Just the deagle to work with. 3 against him. Waylander still deep inside the site, not wanting to peek with that 28 HP, but Kenny's got an angle that he may force that issue. And although the flank was looking to come in from Hooch, he's not quite close enough. He just wants this plant. It's a decent effort considering the situation, but Waylander's going to deny that. Always was.
Yeah, the CTs wanted to try and kill him after the time of that, but obviously when you're trying to plant the bomb, you don't really have much of a choice going into that one. So it is going to be a 3-0 in favor of Gambit. Great start for them. EnVyUs, we saw the, I don't know if you caught him out before the match started in the huddle, a lot of screaming and shouting from their side of the stage there. What are your thoughts? Do you feel like?
I mean, if you're that down on yourself, sometimes you fake it till you make it. You get that confidence rolling, you know, do what you can, dig deep. How much is genuine out of that is up for debate. I think they're just looking for ways to scrape the bottom of the barrel and get their footing as a team in this tournament because, again, defending champions, yes, they've been in a slump, but did we expect them to be in this position in the groups this early? That's the whole other story in all of this, remember?
Well, how crazy is that? The current champions having to really dig deep to go up against Gambit Gaming, actually were worried whether they can actually beat them. That's kind of nuts, right?
It's an insane storyline, and again, Gambit, no slouch. They've got the early lead on the CT side as well. They're going to stick with the 5 M4s, only one of which is an A1. Still relevant in certain situations, but it's the op to come out for Kenny. Good to see that he'll be wielding the weapon early. There's no change of play in that. Flash over, catches Devil slightly, who takes no damage from that Molotov. It didn't quite reach into the corner, but it did slow them down trying to push into vents. They'll get through regardless. They've cleared it out. They had a second player back out toward NBK in those tunnels, so they were catching anyone that was inside of it. It's only 2 in the site. They're going to rotate Adren over, but he's so low on HP. It's once again Waylander who has to come up and good with the counter entry. Happy finds the lurk in mid. Mo goes down inside of the vents. There's no chance they'll pinch EnVyUs in their play. Despite dropping down the bomb, though, it might have worked out for timing. It still is a 2 versus 2, and they've got to recover that smoke out in front of CT spawn to allow it. But Doji and Hooch have decent information to relay off each other, and Hooch is going to find the first kill. Happy might get the trade, but Doji knows exactly where he is at this point.
Hooch didn't really have to commit to that situation. They knew where the bomb was as well. They had a crossfire set up. Now it's up to Dosia. Can he find him? He actually can as well. Headshot on the Happy. EnVyUs can't find the round. Looked like a very promising situation. Nice mid control and a decent B split coming as well. Found the entries, but the hold on the side was just too strong from Gambit there. Like I said, that face from Hooch was a little bit too much for me, but Dosia coming out on top, and that's going to be 4-0. And without the plan as well, EnVyUs should be on a pretty much eco here. You can see they've got one player on $4,200. That will be Happy. Well, it's doing the classic lurk roll as we expect him to do towards middle. That actually worked out very well. Got the kill towards vents, coming in for the flank as well. But just not delivering the goods there. So we're going to round number 5, just going to be pistols and some body armor as well.
Apex going to be the first to walk in toward A main. Devil to cover the doorway. Again, eyes on him, the new boy. It always puts pressure when you come into a top roster, a top team, as someone who's less established. And in fairness to him, it's not like he alone is the problems on this team right now. He is trying to be the remedy, so it's always going to be hard on the guy. But
we'll touch on this after this round, but this is an interesting one from EnVyUs. This is a very simple A-take. They normally do smokes out, flashes come in, and it's going to be Adren picking up the first kill. Takes down Kenny S, and it looks like a very simple cleanup so far for the CTs. As I say that, Devil does find Adren. Bomb is still by the squeaky door, though. Still going to try and get that down. 4-1-2. Probably just another plant coming in here before the round slips away.
At least they do get the bomb down with the 5 rounds that will be against them, but it is going to be Only one taken away. Kits on all 4 that remain. Happy, just the pistol now remaining at forklift. He is going to try and get the peek on Hooch. Goes late. He'll be able to bait them out one by one here. Nearly gets Mo as well as he goes very low.
So the point I just want to make about Devil is, like, it's kind of interesting in CSGO, right? Like, we never really have any sort of downtime between tournaments. It's just tournament, 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 tournament. So obviously against Croatia is the first time you actually got to use him, and they've come into this event, they've changed the caller as well. Like, where's the time to actually practice and actually implement this strategy and make sure it's actually working across the board? It must be so difficult for a player like him to come into this, and there's a lot of experiments going on. They need to probably... It's hard to say we need to take a step back from events. Obviously, you've got majors coming up and all these big tournaments. And it's a lot of pressure on him, but yeah, absolutely right. It's not like it's his fault whatsoever. He's just coming in and doing his thing, right? So there we go. 5-0, though, in favor of Gambit. This is a round that's very important indeed. We have got Kenny on the AWP.
And they've got Mo. Yeah, he picked up Kenny's from the last round, or rather 2 rounds ago, so he didn't have to invest into this, and they get it. So it's going to try and shut them down early with that AWP, and early indeed, because Mo's gone aggressive toward the squeaky door. Gambit's willing to take the fight, but Happy's waiting for it. He's going to get it with the AK. That drops the op already and forces a rotation out of middle with 1 minute and 30 seconds for EnVyUs to finally work around.
Yeah, May went for that aggressive AWP face towards the squeaky door. Does get punished for it as well. Doesn't actually land any damage either. So once again, EnVyUs do have that man advantage. Kenny has boosted up towards middle, trying to scout out any info, but so far the CTs have adjusted themselves back towards that A-bomb side, seeing if they can potentially flash in. Obviously, a lot of CT teams will react in these situations. Cash is a classic Counter-Strike map in that sense. As soon as you lose the first player, you want to be trying to gain real estate back on the map, getting some intel. But it's looking like EnVyUs will be flashing themselves out towards middle, trying to get the next frag, and there it is. Devil does take down Hooch. Huge advantage now. This should be, and surely be, the round that gets him on the board.
Waylander again, though, inside of B, just as MBK evaluating what's going on. The interesting thing in all this is Adren's position. It's Kenny that waits for it, because if Waylander can anchor and Adren could funnel out the offense, the way he's been holding in this site, you might have given them a chance to find 1 or 2 on entry, but good kill by Kenny. Opens things back up, and there you go. Case in point, Waylander still finds NBK, despite that it's not commitment. It's Dozier to go down. That opens A. Happy's lurked all the way through CT, and there's no chance for Waylander to even save here.
No, he's happy he went for that Z connector there. Did find the kill towards the truck, and that was the split discovered as well. So like you said, Waylander stuck in a horrible position now. He actually may not get away with this. It doesn't look like Happy's going to be committing just yet.
Yeah, I said no way to save. If he kills off Happy, but it's not like it's comfortable. He's definitely got Happy lurking in his proximity.
Well, the good news is for EnVyUs here, it's a relatively clean round for them. They only lose 1 frag there in the form of MBK. So even if they were to lose the next, they still should have some cash available. But here we go then, Waylander.
Look how weary Happy is about pushing this too, because he knows that their money situation's not worth dropping the gun for. But he'll get him nonetheless. Waylander gets impatient. Finally, EnVyUs on now. This is what we always talk about, and this is why that gun was so important, because this is the reset potential against EnVyUs. At 5-1, 7 rounds in the middle of the half. That's almost worst case scenario.
It's going to be 2 players on pistols here. Can they drop anything for them? I can see 2 pistols on that. I'm sure those drops gone down. We'll see what they can bring to the table. You're absolutely right. This is a difficult round, actually, for Gambit. They've got 2 5.7s, M4s, and Mo on the AWP. He was a player that went aggressive last round, did get taken down. And you feel like they took the game towards EnVyUs there, who capitalized from that point. But let's see what they bring to the table this time. Looks like a much more passive setup from Mo. He's just going to be towards that quad area. He'll be joined by Dozier at the forklift area.
And the default setup from Kenny and Apex. One inside of A main on the rifle. That's Apex with his back turned, waiting for the flash. And Kenny with the initial peek if anyone pushed through blindly. The fall off of that, seeing that there will be no early A aggression. So Gambit altering their playbook slightly. And the fact that they have gone aggressive in some and passive in the others. It's Adren that's inside middle. One of the said players on pistols, as you mentioned, smoked off already as well. And without that firepower, has to sit back and give up middle. The Molotov to clear the vent's already gone through. NBK out in the tunnels. They've got options to try and rotate, but Hooch is going to find Apex. That'll discourage them from A. This should be a B hit immediately onto Adren now.
Yeah, Apex does get taken down. No reply whatsoever. So 4 on 4. They are going to be heading their way into that B site. NBK just clearing out the halls right now.
And Hooch is quite smart based on that pick as well. He's already rotated for this, knowing that A is extremely less likely. Given the situation, it's Adren inside the site. Good flash over from Hooch. It nearly works out. But instead, Adren does go down. It puts very low, though, Kenny S. He's on 4 HP. Remember, has that AWP. They'll want to keep that up after the bomb goes down. And they'll get a flash to buy space for Kenny to try and move, should he elect to, because Hooch was the only one in position to shut him down. And he's, again, very, very low. That pistol from that range and the nade that goes over top could have done it. But they won't find him just yet. Mo's going to get happy, make this a little bit more possible. 1 kit, it's on Hooch, who goes through the doorway, dropped in heaven. I think it was flung to the floor, though, so that gives Mo a chance to grab it. If they get that far, it's on Dozier now. Down to the 1-on-1. NBK and kit grabbed. He has to play this. He needs to find out exactly where Dozier is going to be, and it's on the platform. He'll find him.
The thing is as well, like you said, Gambit did read that really well. They actually rotated efficiently, but it was only the players of the 5-7s that were available to actually get to the bomb site there. Did what they could, took one down, and it was a relatively successful retake. Comes down to the one-on-one. MBK, there's such a stronger position compared to what Dozier is, and he had to go pick up the kit, run all the way to the bomb as well. MBK just read it perfectly, and that's going to be EnVyUs picking up their second round now. That's going to break the economy of Gambit as well. You can see they can't really justify anything whatsoever into this round. Going to be a full save here. So USPs, oh, that cheeky Desert Eagle comes out, make it 2 as well. So something to do here, but EnVyUs should be able to read the situation pretty easily now. Just hold back, lock the default, and this approach an area together.
So no smoke this time. On to A main. You might think that Apex, or rather, excuse me, Apex or EnVyUs in general would read that there's a full save as a result of this, because that's fairly default. And he does get the opening pick with the AK. NBK getting a little pressure over toward B, but he's been playing this toxic position each time. So they are playing the 3-man swing on this terrorist side with 2 players to sort of anchor down either side. And NBK that time gets 2 gifts effectively walking toward him. It's all on Mo. He's going to go down immediately after an efficient round, crucially, for EnVyUs.
Well, the money is starting to build back up for Gambit here. It's not amazing. They've got about 4,400 average. You can see Waylander's a little bit far behind as well. So the good thing is, obviously, when you're going up against AK-47s, you don't need head armor. So body armor, M4s, 1 kit on towards Mo as well. They have got the smokes, no incendiaries. Still will be a difficult round. This will be one of the times where they want to be flashing into a certain area, maybe checking out A main after 30 seconds or so, trying to get a bit of intel here. When you've got such limited utility and only 1 kit as well, you want to make sure you try and get a man advantage, try and take something towards the terrorists here. See what they bring to the table. Very default setup so far, and looking like a more faster round from EnVyUs. Boosting up straight away. Mo gets taken down by Apex, and now they have got full mid control as well.
Good Molotov to clear out the sandbags, but it's happy onto a Dren that will make this even more difficult for Gambit. They try to get aggressive once more. Dozier flashed out. Apex already at highway, had no idea. He wanted to try and take back A main, get some information for his team, but unfortunately, the Sex God doesn't get to make the sexy play. He gets cut off entirely by Apex, and now he's only wrapping back through CT. This will trap the defense inside of the B site as the bomb's on A. There's no chance to even get an early rotation in.
Yeah, I actually really like this from EnVyUs. They're reading the money situation very well. No, it hasn't been recovered just yet, but Hooch doing everything he can. Is burning alive there. Goes down to 3 HP, but they're going to be aware of his position. This should be an easy kill for Happy. Put your nades away, my friend. Let's finish him off. There it is. And now Waylander stuck in an impossible situation. He is towards that B-bomb site, actually at the back, but looks like EnVyUs don't care. They want to hunt him down right now. But as the point I was making is they've been doing very slow default plays so far, EnVyUs, and now mixing it up, taking advantage of the spawn they had, boosting 3 players over, and just wrecking Mo as they went over the top.
The Waylander actually did spot Apex, didn't fire him at first because he wanted to make sure he got information on the right side first, where Happy was playing from tunnels. However, that's changed because Happy snuck by, it walks in slowly, and still gives Waylander the chance to save this gun.
The money's very healthy for EnVyUs right now, so this isn't a huge deal. Obviously, it's great for Waylander. He's picking up a little bit of extra cash. He does go down in the end. The hands of Devil there. So 5-4, and actually 4 in a row for EnVyUs as well. The money broken once again for Gambit. Let's see what they've got right now. It's about 3K, and doesn't look like they'll be investing just yet. But EnVyUs definitely coming to life now after that. What was their initial 5-0 deficit. Change of pace here, and it's actually Kenny S, who hasn't really had to be massively on point here. Do you know what we've seen him the last few tournaments, like carrying them almost to the Titan levels that's mentioned on the analyst desk. He's actually had a very relatively quiet game. It's Apex has been stepping up with the entry kills. MBK has been strong as well. Here we go, round number 10. Should be another throwaway round here. Can't really see Gambit doing anything with this.
Devil this time going to just hold the quick angle from the drop position. Kenny with AWP trying to make a fast play. Hooch is going to get caught by this, but it is 2 more inside of the site. 3 more, in fact, as a Dren is also boosted up by that generator position. Good read, though, by Team EnVyUs. Happy's gotten all the way through middle as well. He'll be able to cut them off on the rotation. This should be a fairly straightforward round.
This round's over. Just looking forward to the next round. Obviously, mid's been an actual massive problem for Gambit in these last 2 or 3 rounds, so I'd assume the adjustment will be coming in next. We saw NIP doing it yesterday, the 3 players towards middle when it starts to become a problem. You have 2 options of that kind of methodology. You can actually attack it or leave middle completely. Leaving one person there to kind of get information, he's getting taken down almost every single round, isn't that effective. So you either play the AWP towards the quad area or you send 3 CTs there at the start and try and push them back and not allow them to have full control of the map in that sense. So we'll see what approach Gambit bring to the table. Their money should be rectified by next round. It's a full loss bonus of 5 stages next round, so $4,400 on top of the 2K they already have. So we could go for the double AWP setup as well. That would be very viable in this situation also. What do you think, Matt?
I think it's time to win rounds for Gambit.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking as well.
5-0 up, down 5-5 as Kenny gets Doja to close it out. Again, all 5 players stay alive, and it's a best of 1. It's an elimination match. You almost think, we talked about this yesterday, maybe an early timeout. You've got an advantage that's now dissolved massively, and you're only going to make the job harder when you go over to the terrorist side. You finally got money for the buy. No timeout this one, perhaps thinking they can keep this closer, but if this slips away, you might look back and say, why didn't they at this time? Because obviously EnVyUs is caught on, like you say, being a lot more dynamic in their approach. And Gambit's not really changed much to compensate the difference. Mo's going to go on the opposite single this time. It looks like it's going to be another quick default in toward A main with Apex and Kenny to hold that position. Same thing again, Apex looking away from the flash.
Not going for any fast boost this time. It's going to be holding up. You can see Apex turns away, waiting for anyone to push. Kenny, yes, gets flash whatsoever. Apex is there to do the 180 and take him down. No aggression whatsoever from the CT. You can see them spread across on the minimap right now, just patrolling each area. He talks about mid being a problem. They have got Hooch there, joined by Adren, and it's actually going to be Mo towards that quad area once more, seeing if he can get any vision towards A main.
So the last time they did go for that default and didn't see anyone push A main, they immediately tried to take over mid control afterward by boosting 2. This time they are still going to go on to A, but with less information. No smoke out. We'll see if Kenny can take advantage of that with the AWP. Because Mo's staring it down in return. He thought about the Molotov. It might have been beneficial in this situation. He'll go with it. Shoulder peek. Mo can't hit the shot. They now know there's an op on quad. You would think a smoke would suffice, but they leave it open and Devil goes down. It's up to Doja behind the forklift. Mo is going to drop. It's Apex in the sight, but Doja smoked off. They don't know he's here, and he's going to get a gift. NBK jumps into his crosshair. That's too easily done. And suddenly the numbers fade away for EnVyUs. And you'd think Gambit have a foot in the round. Bomb not planted either. Kenny finds one, but it's all on him.
That was actually quite a sloppy execution there from EnVyUs. It seems like the timings of the smokes and the actual way the players were coming out at the same time. Mo shouldn't have had any footing in that round whatsoever. He should have been smoked out, flashed off, even Molotov. It seemed like he got gifted a kill and a lot of intel as well. And the smokes actually from the terrorists seemed to benefit Dosia as he's hiding behind the forklift there. They ran through and he picks up an easy frag. And the round falls apart there for EnVyUs. So we'll see how they can bounce back from this. It's going to be 6-5 now. Obviously, still have the AWP on Kenny after winning 5 rounds in a row. Their money is absolutely fine, and will last them a couple more rounds as well. But CTs need to be careful here. Their money still has been affected after having to rebuy into this round. A loss here would potentially mean an eco. More of the same once again from EnVyUs. Slowing things down, waiting for aggression, trying to work some picks.
This time it's going to be Kenny boosted, AWP in hand. Mo still at quad. It's Hooch and Adren, 2 rifles middle. This gets a little bit scary because Kenny's got the perfect position. If Hooch oversteps this even slightly, he's going to get caught off guard. Smoke's going to go out. That actually benefits Hooch in this sense. They want to try and get forward in this. They want to try and drop over, but it's actually well timed. They throw out a Molotov immediately after that smoke lands, and it won't allow them to take mid quite so easily. They do still have Devil inside the vents.
He's found that first pick once again. The CT's dying without any sort of response there as well. It looks all too easy for EnVyUs to actually take control of this area. And other CTs have to spread thin. 2 players on either bomb site. And it's looking like EnVyUs still have smoke grenades and flashbangs as well to make their way into a full execution. Good news is Mo has the AWP. Needs to hit some of these shots now.
And there's no rotation anytime soon. Hooch wants to go for the flank play, but it's too late. It's going to have to be up to the guys inside of the A site. That's Mo, that's Doja, and they've each got a kill. But once more, Apex. He's found a way in behind them. He seems to be getting into the sites relatively easily. Time and time again. Bomb will go down, thankfully, just before Waylander does catch Kenny. But it's now all on him. 1 versus 2. Apex with only 3 HP is going to play this passive from A main, and it's Waylander that's got Happy low. He's given himself a real chance in this, but smartly Happy's going to elongate the angle, fade away from this, and it's going to be a game of cat and mouse as they both sit in red HP, and Happy's going to get away with it.
That was a kind of nuts round there. Waylander doing everything he can in that 2-1. Did you see how good his awareness was? He's reading that so well. Got them both to very low HP as well. Such a huge round in terms of the CT economy. But I said again, Gambit really needs to take control of this mid situation. They're losing their first frag pretty consistently. Dosia and Mo did a very admirable attempt at trying to hold that A bomb site. Found a couple of kills each, but wasn't quite enough in the end. Apex playing pretty lights out as well right now. Finding those entry frags. 3 kills for him that round. And it's going to break the economy, as you said before. Gambit now just onto Desert Eagles and some PT-50s. They've got a smoke and 2 flashbangs as well. See what they can do. I assume Mo and Adren will be flashing to A main. There it is. There's the first flash, but Happy has been boosted up towards middle once again and just getting all the intel in the world. I think he's going to a full B split by the looks of things now.
The one time Waylander thinks, all right, I'll get cheeky and try and just hold an angle up close with a pistol where I haven't been before. They Molotov him out of that checker room. He's down to 18 HP before he even gets back to the platform. And why not? Let's just throw some more flames on top of him. We might as well just roast him all the way into the grave. As the smokes land above as well, Hooch gonna try and play headshot with the Deagle. He's already lost Mo in the process. Devil finding that kill. There we go, Apex over top of the edge of the rail. Lander falls immediately after. There's not much they can really do, and not even any economic damage done.
Wow. So EnVyUs now in full control of this first half. You can see the money still, after losing that, winning one round, losing the subsequent, it still hasn't really recovered. It's only Dosia who's got decent cash. He's on $5,900. The rest of the team can afford rifles and body armor, but that would be about it. Adren has invested already before the rest of the team, so assuming they're going to join him, and no kits purchased so far. Dosia trying to stack up with the utility. He's actually the only player with a single grenade map. That's kind of nuts into a gun around here, but they have got kits and one smoke. If EnVyUs play a default once again, this should be a very simple situation for them. That's the one smoke drop towards the top of the middle. Apex finding that first kill once again, being so strong in these situations. They're now pushing towards Squeaky Door, trying to rectify the situation.
But look at Happy. He's read it. He's heard them coming through, and he's going to get both again. That's the second time they've pushed, and the second time Happy gets a double. Adren's compensated for it, and he knows that the only possibility for them to find a way back into it was to come back through Squeaky. So he did look correctly, but Happy, what a round from him.
Gambit had to try something there. Like I said, not a single grenade. They used it towards middle. Dosia gets taken down through the smoke straight away. They tried to react, and then Happy, like he said, just so poised for that situation. And I think I saw 3 AWPs then for EnVyUs. This real life? 3 AWPs in the last round. Why not? You're going against pistols.
There's 2 for sure.
No, they had 3. I saw
I think it's on the ground. I think it's dropped. You might be right. MBK's going to... There you go. T-side, 3-side up. Why not? Cash.
He's taking an AK with him, to
money.
be fair. So he's just going to be holding at the start of the round, seeing if they push towards the B storage. But this has turned into a nightmare. A 5-0 situation for Gambit. Thrown away, and this aggression towards middle happening once again. Apex consistently finding that first frag. This time it's Mo to drop. 5 and 4, and Hooch is trying to push for the smoke, but he gets denied by Devil straight away. Now Gambit need to try and do something with this. They've got pistols and 3 players alive, and EnVyUs is staying true, staying in a group, and Devil insult to injury as he takes down Waylander as well. That's going to be the 9th round here in favour of EnVyUs, so there's great potential of the first half from Gambit. This dwindles away.
Yep. And when you saw them win that first gun round, you thought there was a real chance that they would get some momentum rolling and at least pick up a majority of the rounds in this first half, but it's again all on Dosia. Pistol to play with. If you watch their YouTube at all before this event, you'd think he's capable of anything, so let's not rule him out, HenryG.
Let's not.
All right, I should have ruled him out.
So Devil does get the final kill. That says 9-6. Like I said, 5-0 to open this game for Gambit, and then only finding 1 round after that. Very disappointing, I have to say. Once their money situation was lost, EnVyUs just read it perfectly. Just playing the defaults, working the picks, staying as a group. That was textbook EnVyUs. They're actually hitting their shots now. And it's not Kenny S that has to carry this situation. MBK, Happy, Apex, people we expect to be big fraggers in this team, actually stepping up as well. Apex impressed me tremendously with his actual entry kills and his confidence, looking like he's actually hitting shots now. And
he was very smart on his entries too. Every time there was smoke deployed, he utilized it very well. The rounds where we saw Dosia and Mo get kills to counter the entry in A, somehow he gets in behind them.
Sure.
He just times it perfectly to get around. Not only that, we see the lurks from Happy getting through mid. It's one of the first games I've seen in a while. We've been kind of harping, me personally, have been harping on Happy as of late for making decisions to pick up the AWP when you have Kenny on your team, to lurk but come out late after. There's not really much you can do.
His lurks actually made sense this game, right?
Exactly. He was actually he was ahead of the play a lot of times, which is what the lurk should do. So when he got down middle and got into CT on a number of occasions, I thought it was great.
Lurking actually only complements your team if you're actually doing something that's beneficial to the round, right? If you're just holding a certain position on the other side of the map and just getting like a 1 kill on the rotation doesn't mean anything, that doesn't really do that too much, because then obviously your teammates die on the bomb site and you're so far removed from the situation. But what he was doing there, like they're going to the B site, he's waiting in connector, he's actually listening for footsteps and finding kills in the back there, and then especially he's reading the situation so well towards Squeaky Door as well. Like when there's actually pushing, you can hear CT's pushing into it, he's ready there, hiding, listening out for footsteps as well. It was actually very interesting lurks from him this time, actually stuff that was advantageous to the team rather than just his scoreboard.
Yeah, and again, first time we've seen that in a while. It's definitely impressive. You mentioned that Kenny doesn't have to carry this one. He's only got 4 kills in this half, and it's not even that we're criticizing him for not hitting shots. He didn't have to open rounds, like you said. He didn't have to hit the shots. By the time that he came into the fold or the op was there to hold, it was already done. And many times it wasn't like he had to open up against rifles anyway. It was anti-ecos that they were just slaughtering them.
Well, it's quite an interesting scoreline there. The fact that Croatia is just like him carrying so hard. Even on cash, we saw them. Like no one else is really stepping up. This is actual
This is the 1v2, actually, where Doja nearly made this work when the bomb went down, and he got the kit. It was falling forward, but there it was. He overstepped it, so he did have to go back. But NBK plays this really well.
Oh, actually, that was just fully through the smoke. I guess he just knew exactly what the bomb was.
Yeah, we actually saw that from Doja's perspective.
Yeah, so we assumed it from checkers, I think, but he actually got him through the smoke. Why not? Anyway, then we go into the pistol round. Gambit now onto the terrorist side, of course. 2 smoke grenades and a Molotov for them. And it's looking like they'll be holding things up here towards middle and B storage as well. Potential B split here as Mo does show himself out. No presence from the CTs whatsoever towards middle, and there's actually 3 of them towards B. So this could get interesting very quickly. Dosia picks up the first goal onto Devil, but it's going to be KennyS wrecked by Mo and the drive-by with that burst fire of the Glock, and it's going to be a fully open B site here. 2 players remaining for EnVyUs.
Apex gets Doja back, though, starts the climb back into this. It'll be the second pistol for Gambit if they can close this out. 1 on 4, it looks extremely likely. But sometimes when you get both pistols and the scoreline is as such, it kind of paints a more of a picture in terms of how the game's actually gone. Mo decides to do some damage to Waylander. Why not? He got 3 kills in the last pistol. We might as well take him out of this one.
Very fast round from Gambit there. Straight up B split. It was interesting to see that EnVyUs didn't play a single player towards middle there whatsoever. It's actually left it fully open, and the B split came in. They lost that initial frag. There's too much for them. There's driven there towards that B site, and they're going to have to go into a full save here. Not going to be. Oh, I say that. I'm looking at the force fires coming out. So that's classic EnVyUs. Most teams will do this on the second round. Try and do what they can with the CZs, PT50s. Assuming KennyS will be keeping himself relatively modest here. He's got $1,000 still, so obviously he's the AWPer and doesn't want to invest too much into this one to make sure he actually has that AWP going into the first gun round here. So 4 rifles from Gambit. Adren will be the recon player. And they're going to a faster play here, straight towards mid, nades to all highway. It's overtaking this area. And actually, look at this B stack coming in from EnVyUs as well. 4 players towards the bomb site, all hiding behind the boxes.
Why not? Gamble and pay off. If it doesn't work out, you can just become an Uber driver. I heard that story this morning that someone became an Uber driver to fuel their or quell their gambling addiction.
Do you have a gambling addiction?
No, I don't, but it was a good drive to the arena. Let me just tell you that.
Fair enough. Hearing someone's tragic life story.
Well, apparently it's worked out.
Fair enough.
He enjoys Uber. So, Doja going to try and shoot them down. This does give information there's at least 1, but the others haven't peaked. And this is where things can get a little bit awkward for Waylander in specific, who gets caught in the open, tag down early. And they're actually getting good exchanges right now. EnVyUs. Not only that, they're pincered in because the second player's gone back out to mid. They're going to drop the bomb. Happy's the last alive, but he's certainly done enough to give himself a chance. 1 versus 2. Ample time. Mo's going to find him.
The B stack actually paying dividends there for EnVyUs. Don't win the round, but they do take down 3 kills. And this is the throwaway round at this point. Gambit will just be able to buy it with the AKs. Take things a little bit slower, see if there is another stack coming in or maybe a rush from the CTs. But it's going to draw things up at 9-9 here. So definitely got a game on our hands. We'll see what EnVyUs can bring to the table this round. KennyS is going to have the CZ, some PT50s out as well. But this should be a foregone conclusion, I would say, Matt. There's not really much EnVyUs can do here. But they're going to be stacking A this time. They're going to be potentially pushing this. They have got a flashbang on Kenny, so maybe just going into that A storage area, try and find the first frag. And there will be a Dren there as well. They're going to wait until they hear a footstep, presumably, and then try and take him down. But he's so far removed from that area, he'll just be able to see the flash and fall back.
Robin should have fallen back when he saw the flash, but Doja going to open up squeaky door. This leaves NBK slightly forward. They're going to commit to this. They're going to push into A main. It's a Dren who's going to catch them. And they'll go no further with the pistols. Once more, a gamble play, but it's not going to work out. It's going to give the bomb site entirely to Gambit. So once more, they also win the ensuing rounds after the pistol.
Yeah, it's going to be happy remaining now with that PT50. They did what they could there. They listening out for footsteps and went for the flashbang towards A main, but Terrorist just ready. Outgunned them there. Hooch just go down to 2 HP. That's about all the damage to report here. Happy will remain, and he'll just be hanging out towards the mid warehouse here. So, like you said, Gambit do keep all players alive and decent cash as well. We'll see what money will be coming in for KennyS. He definitely can afford the AWP. It will be a very tight buy, I'd imagine. He has to be buying CZs and smoke grenades as well, and a flashbang. So, we'll see where his money lies after this one.
Just wants to do any exit economy damage he can.
Do you think Adren will keep his Mac 10 and go for the Jaden round?
The Jaden round. I love it. I've got you on board finally.
Yeah.
Well, according to James Bardoff, the Mac 10 is viable in every round, but he's yet to frag, so I don't know if it's advised.
Well, we'll see what he decides to do. He will be dropping the Mac 10 this time, so we're not going to see any Jaden antics at this time. But we can see the money for EnVyUs actually not as strong as we thought. KennyS won't have that AWP. Currently set on 5 for 12, not getting his weapon of choice into this first gun round. It'll be interesting to see what EnVyUs bring to the table. Not a single kit purchased either, so You expect to see something a little bit more aggressive here mid-round and see whether they can find that first pick and slow down any potential execution coming in from Gambit here. They've got a full utility base here. Molotov, smokes, everything. They'll be setting themselves up for more of a default play here. Waiting to see if they can read the CTs in any sort of sense.
You're going to hold the tighter angle inside of the A site. No one out toward quad this time. No NBK and NBK.
You hate to see it.
Dojia's already toward the doorway. Saying it, though, apparently he is going to head toward that position. At least to the slide. They're going to go for the boost late. Happy's going to look toward A main. If the door opens, they'll hear it, they'll drop, they'll shuffle. But the focus will be shutting down the initial entry. No commitment so far on the opposing side. Gambit just holding the bomb back out. Adren's going to work toward A main now. It's a single flash to go in. They've got smoke still and Molotovs. I think they're hoping at this point that they can get rid of those utilities, the last remaining utility on the EnVyUs side.
Well, the thing is, so far, that boost they've got going on of Happy above the bomb site, they don't really need to use the remaining smokes they have. They've got good vision, and it's a very unlikely place to die from as well. Here comes the first. It looks like a bait smoke, I would say, from Gambit. Adren just trying to see what he can get out of them. Got to be committing just yet.
I do go for Molotovs onto Forklift. They're trying to flush them out, but the first shot in from Happy. With that smoke there, Dojia can't push through that blindly. He can't figure out exactly where they are. It's a good pinch play from Waylander, though. Dojia times it so that they get Highway. It's a 1-2 punch onto the A site, and suddenly Apex has to turn back because they've got Highway control as well as Z Connector. There's no entrance back in toward the territory that's been lost, and Dojia, excellent shot from on top of the red crate, finds Apex at the truck. That forces Devil back into hiding. And he and Kenny come up with a plan to try and salvage the weapons they can.
Very interesting round there from Gambit. Like I said, those initial smokes is to kind of bait out any sort of utility from the CTs. The boost does work out initially for Happy, but that's pretty much all they get out of it. Devil does find another. Well, he's trying to save his weapon, but that split coming in from middle as well just completely took apart the CTs there. Didn't really know what was coming towards him. Didn't have any mid-presence whatsoever. It's going to be Waylander to pick up his third frag. On towards Devil. Just Kenny S remaining now. And that's 4 rounds in a row in the second half in favor of Gambit. Very similar scenes to what we saw in the first. Kenny S on 8 HP shouldn't survive here, I would say. He's going to be spotted now, and there's the final kill from Waylander. Gets his 4th of the round, but EnVyUs' money must be very low now. You know, about 3,200 average across the team. So, Matt, this is actually looking kind of interesting. Kenny S yet to buy an AWP on the CT side. They're not really finding any frags in the first gun round. Didn't have many grenades as well. And looking like they're going for that partial buy this time. It's going to have a strong loss bonus into the next, so they can justify some upgraded pistols and body armor. And you can see Apex with their HE as well, trying to bring some to the party.
Not only do they win 2 pistols, Gambit, they win the 2 first gun rounds in each half. This becomes a must-win when you look at those stats, almost. I mean, any other game, any other teams, any other matchup, you'd say it's a foregone conclusion. But right now, EnVyUs have done enough with that first half turnaround to keep themselves in it. NBK is going to get toward lockers early and undetected. Adren knows he's late to that position, so he considers it, but will they do much about it? They try and spam through, and MBK gets a little bit impatient because of this and goes for the shot. That gives away the position, and Adren finds him. Now they'll push through, though, 2 immediately back into that position. They try and compensate for it, and they get 1. It's a Kenny S onto Mo from a distance, but Adren does at least trade back in their favor, and Hooch is there. He's rotated back over from mid.
Well, then Apex and Happy remain. They have got 5.7s of P250s, but not really much to work with, I'd say. 2 players coming with the bomb towards A main, and see enough. Apex is actually in a decent position to take someone down here. There's no one towards Squeaky as of yet. As I said, though, Dosia is slowly making his way through that area. Apex could be interesting here as he does take him down and pick up an AK as well.
Works out well because he's got control of long. He could play from that door, control his peak. But they're going to try and rotate off of this because Waylander finds the kill at the bottom of Highway. That's Happy, opens up the B side, and Apex is going to be as quick as he can about rotating over, but tagged up. As Waylander holds the position once more, 15 HP, and that's enough to discourage it.
Yep, they know his position now. And the fact he has body armor already and the AK, it's not even worth him trying to do anything with this. The money should be swelling right now for the T's. After this, they'll probably have, what, like 6 or 7K each, so no problem whatsoever. And for them, he might as well try and stay alive. As he hides behind the truck right now, 15 HP. I'm not really sure why he's not going towards the squeaky door. He's now actually lost all opportunity to do that. He's getting pincered in by Hooch. And there it is, he'll pick up the final kill. 11 plays 9 now. EnVyUs should have cash going into this one, plenty of it. Could bring some different ideas to the table. Kenny S does get the AWP now. And they, once again, do not have a single kit. Happy can buy one at the moment. And their Devil picks one up. So We'll see what they can do now. Kenny S with the AWP. You'd imagine this is the turnaround. This is a map tradition. It's very strong for Kenny, so he should be stepping up now. I'd say he hasn't really got so much confidence right now. Hasn't really been setting the world on fire with the AWP. We'll see whether he can be a little bit more dynamic now and find those first picks.
Straight set, bounce smoke. Waylander into B. Doja is there as well, so a bit of pressure applied from Gambit. Hooch is going to hold middle. Needs to be careful, though, because it's a double push as well as a boost from Happy. And I don't know if Hooch has full control, but Waylander, meanwhile, is doing massive damage inside of the B site. So even though they get toward that mid position, it might be too late because Waylander's got now a third kill.
I'm not sure that was Waylander doing something good, Matt, or EnVyUs just having a horrible decision to go back into it. They got smoked and flashed out. Devil just ran through and left Kenny for dead there. Kenny had no choice but to just come and commit. And that's Waylander picking up his 4th frag. Once those first 2 kills were found, the rest of them are arbitrary at that point because the round was over. The B site was open, plan down to 5 players. You could see what EnVyUs wanted to do there, that fast push in the B storage, but once that smoke came in, it was Devil that's overcommitted at that stage, and he's stuck behind the smoke. Kenny S has just got no exit strategy here, running backwards, and Waylander gets 2 pretty simple frags there, I have to say. And 12 plays 9 now, and we have got is this a 4 spike coming from EnVyUs? No, it's more the partial once again. MBK just picking up the scout. A map he made this weapon famous on, I would say, towards the court area.
Absolutely.
We'll see what he can do with this one. Desperately need this one if they're going to gain something out of this, but going to be pistols and the scouts and some body armor once again. And Waylander just doing some serious work once again. Double headshots, taking down Devil and Kenny S. 5 on 3, and Apex taking quite a lot of damage as well. So Waylander coming to life here in the second half. He's got 24 kills.
I think it's the words of Duncan Shields that he's got LAN in his name, so the LAN is in his game. But it's Hooch and Mo that are going to come out with more. Hey, I didn't say it. He did, not my words.
Okay.
NBK, though, the last alive, this scout, you said he made it famous in this position. None more famous than if he could pick up a 1v5 here. But put this in context for you. It's now 3 rounds to go for Gambit Gaming to knock out EnVyUs.
The current champions in the major.
Yes, in group stages, the bottom of the group stage. How far has this slump really gone? This is when you want to see characters show up, or have they truly given up on themselves? Is this an implosion?
This is just so much context there. It's like you can't really tell the story better than that. These are the current major champions, potentially about to go out to Gambit Gaming. Score is now 13 tonight. Kenny has got the orb once again. He tried for that aggression towards B. Like I said, hasn't really found anything with it so far. Going to be playing more of a passive hold this time. 2 players going towards A main here. It's going to be MBK molotoving towards the entrance of the storage area, and we're facing as well. They've got control of it, but the Terrors are playing such a passive game. It's going to amount to nothing almost once utility has been depleted. Going to be smoking it off as well. And it's great for now, sure, but now they have to fall back to the bomb site, and then they're left without the smoke grenades or incendiaries.
She'll check out middle, see what's going on. Pops out the vent to make sure no one's hiding behind. Smoke off to give them a little bit more entry. It's not the full wall of smokes. Let's Hooch, though, take a step further. He actually Molotovs towards Z that time. It didn't go for the sandbags, but the smoke already on it means that it's immediately extinguished. So a bit of a misplay in terms of timing on that Molotov.
Well, we still have MBK, who was patrolling towards that A storage area. His smoke is about to dissipate now, so although he's still spotting it, his situational advantage has been taken away. Waylander, is he towards the vents? Okay.
Already got there. I actually think that Molotov might have been intended to go, and he missed the pillar, so it bounced into Z because they had Hooch waiting in the cubby immediately after. But either way, he's got the vents. They'll have heard this. Devil is still in the site despite Kenny going down early. It's Waylander again, though. Another 2 kills for him. And this gets bad to worse as the French side start to crumble. It's Apex and NBK that are going to be the last alive, but my God, if you've got a God, pray to it now. Hold these weapons and do what you can in the next, because this one's gone as well.
Kenny S has got absolutely wrecked on the side there. Did you see the shot Waylander got on him? That was incredibly good. He got control of the vents, he molotovs the side, takes him out of position, and just blows the head off Kenny S there. Once again, he gets taken down without a single frag, 7 for 17, and that's going to be the 14th round for Gambit without dropping a single frag to add to the pain.
Got 5 digits of money on 3 players right now. Make it 4 after the round. Waylander is absolutely carrying this right now. 26 kills for him. The next highest in the server is Apex. And to be fair, on a map that he is very good on normally, but still only at 19, just goes to show you this is an incredible performance. There you go. That's the shot you were talking about.
That's just insane. Kenny's just having the worst time on that B bomb site. Went aggressive, got wrecked. Went defensive, got even harder wrecked. And then he's going to be going into that 24th round, looking down the barrel of map and match point to Gambit Gaming. The money's not great. They've got $3,400. That's maximum loss bonus.
Where's the timeout? We talk about this in EnVyUs all the time.
I assume this is it right now, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, but where was it? I mean, when you're starting to lose the economy earlier, I said to Gambit in the first half, I called them out. I didn't think that they would give themselves a chance if they didn't lose or take advantage of the momentum they had. If they lost that momentum, mark my words, they've come back in great style. And again, I mean, Waylander's just entrances on that B site is sick. He's so good. He's so aware at listening to his teammates and communication as well. We saw the first time when he goes in through A, or rather, excuse me, in through main into B and turns back toward the vent, catches the player falling out of it, which wasn't even his responsibility. Yep. That time goes in, gets one pick, waits, holds the angle, and relays information that there's one more on the site, gets that kill. Like, he's playing really good Counter-Strike right now.
How is he getting into the vents area like that, though? Just like
well, that was off the smokes off mid. They'd already cleared it.
But it seems like they've just gone, they're oblivious to it, though. Like, Kenny with the AWP, though, right? Surely he's got to be looking towards the checkers area. Surely he's got to be doing something. I guess he was headshot maybe. No, he's on the bomb side.
He's on the bomb site. I think he got caught in transition because he actually was down by the generator. Yeah. And when he heard the vents pop, I think he thought, all right, I need to be in a better position to cover off the second entry point, but got nailed.
It's looking too easy for them right now. So Waylander's got all this for checkers. One Molotov to the site. Kenny has to face. He leaves his teammate in a horrible situation. He has to face as well. And to be fair to Waylander, that's actually really sick stuff from him. So that's such an important round as well. Not dropping a single frag. We see Waylander's on 16k pretty much. He's on just below 15. And EnVyUs will be forcing into this round. 3 Famases, 2 pistols, and 1 round will put Gambit onto match point to be knocked one step closer to knocking out EnVyUs here. That's kind of insane.
And if there's ever a force to define EnVyUs, it's always make or break with them. This is literally make or break for the entire roster in this situation. You break right now with this force buy where you get criticized heavily for doing it in the past, and it's going to be one of the most bitter pills to swallow. If you pull this off, you give yourself a lifeline, a desperate one at that, because as you can see, the money is out of control on the Gambit side right now.
There we go then. Round number 24, Gambit with a massive advantage in terms of the weaponry and utility as well. Waylander will be facing straight in towards that B storage area. Actually getting pretty aggressive here as well through the smoke. Doesn't land any damage just yet. We'll see how the CTs approach this situation. Gillis playing a very standard formation at the moment. Kenny S, obviously with no orb, just a FAMAS and body armor and 1 flashbang. This is such a desperate round for the CTs, holding back and just hoping they're not going to get punished for this. They've got 1 smoke remaining and an incendiary. Gambit is making them sweat right now, just slowing things down, seeing what options are available to them.
Apex, again, going to play this rotation position in middle, which he's arguably extremely effective at, if not the most effective at, with a rifle. Now he's gone back over toward A. It's NBK and Heath that are going to flash in, so once more EnVyUs want information. They want to get in. They've realized now that no one is there, and NBK is going to burrow into the lockers, but where's the rest of the information going to be garnered? And at least is a rotation to cover for this. Now they're going to push on to B. It's Devil to go first, but look out toward Toxic. They need to spot this right now, and Waylander once more is going to be in the right position at the right time. It's 2 more kills for him as he gets much closer to that 30 total against EnVyUs in an elimination match. Apex goes back deep within the depths of the A site. Doji is going to have heard that. He'll have information that there's 1 away, and it's going to be 2 kills to go before they find map point.
Well, there it is.
Gambit, the new roster.
Crazy scenes there, and Doji are going to be picking up that kill on MBK as well. Apex, I'm afraid there's no chance you winning this round, and that's his Gambit, just bleeding them out, making them sweat, making them question their setup. So they had to go for the pushes in the end. They needed something to work with there, and there it is, 15 plays 9 now. They're 1 round away from being knocked out of this major. Unbelievable scenes. Gambit only dropping 1 frag once again, and here it is then, the money still, 3,400, can only pretty much get a similar buy coming in. Famases, MBK can potentially get a scout if he wanted to, but look at the patience here from Waylander. They don't even consider this position. 2 easy frags for him once again. He's currently sat on 28 kills. So a lot of them have been gifted to him, you have to say. Like, a lot of those situations where EnVyUs are just running into him and trying to make things happen.
But to get those gifts, you've got to be in the right place.
Sure.
And that's as much luck as skill in some sense. Happy's going to get aggressive, try and get up toward middle, make something of this, and it's another desperate push, another one to catch them off guard because it's all they can try and do at this point. And in fairness, this time, if Happy drops, he's actually got a chance at this because Doji has gone towards Squeaky, and Hooch is left middle wide open. MBK's going to push through the smoke. Happy's going to drop down momentarily. Surely he's going to consider this when MBK doesn't get much in the way of information now. Not only that, we've got everyone pushed up. Apex has gone all the way into into T-spawn. Adren and Doji get toward the A site. You'd think that would be the call, that it's clear, but suddenly, somehow, map control is entirely gifted to the way of EnVyUs this time. Apex's position is extremely good because the bomb's gone down. Happy hasn't needed to drop. He can stay up there. That is a perfect flash as well, and he gets a Dren. A round out of nowhere. It's not done yet. Dozia's got the rifle. Devil's picked up an AK to go with it, but Apex is going to close it out all through an early push on the B tunnels.
So somehow that all-in gamble, not playing a single player towards the A site, pushing B storage, boosting up on middle as well. I can still the shouting from EnVyUs. They're still believing right now. 5 rounds in a row acquired. Money's still not amazing, but they do manage to get an AWP here.
To be fair, I think that was Maniac shouting, so perhaps trying to get them back into it.
Well, this guy, so far since he's joined the team, it hasn't been a pretty affair for him. To be fair, since he's come on as coach, I think they've dropped out of groups pretty much every single event he's been at. He needs this.
I don't think it's his fault entirely
no, of course
either.
not. I'm just saying in terms of his reputation, as soon as he joined, it's been a bit of a nightmare. But anyway, and we get the round number 26.
So a change of position inside the B site this time for EnVyUs. Both players favoring the construction, the checker side of the site. No one on the platform. And that's because Kenny wants to get another unorthodox play with his AWP. They're relying on catching Gambit off guard. Last round it worked. But is it a gimmick or is it truly something they can hold to fruition in their favor for the majority in the rest of this map because they can't afford one slip up? And they've had trouble getting the first kills a number of times on the CT side. We'll see if they can find it here. Again, not a lot of information gathered, and patience is virtue right now for Gambit. Doji is out toward that doorway. He'll have heard Apex and MBK go toward that A-main position as well.
Yeah, I've got the boost coming in from Devil towards middle right now. So MBK finds the first one. Devil now coming to life, finds the kill on towards Hooch. Can he get more? Actually, Apex saving him as well. Coming in for the crossfire. He finds 2 headshots, and now EnVyUs with the 11th round on the board. Dozier trying to do what he can, but he will be punished by Apex in the end. And this
Sick
is
timing on that boost because the Molotov just extinguished. They would have thought, all right, that's cleared. There's no way. And then because they have that double play over at I keep wanting to call it construction. They have no idea why.
Like.
But checkers, and they boost them right back up. That's very well timed.
What I liked about that is even more. As soon as Devil got all the attention, Apex is facing straight away. Look, no one's looking at him whatsoever. Double spray down. Pretty simple affair, but the teamwork and that synergy is very impressive. And they're going to need a lot more of that map. They're going to get 4 rounds in a row here. Money's still strong for Gambit. And we'll see if EnVyUs can hold on. They're very in tune to what Gambit are doing right now, pushing at all the right times, getting key information, boosting into the vents and just finding Gambit out of position, but it's going to take a lot more to hold on for this long, but so far so good in the last 2. Kenny S back on the orb. He's going to be towards the B storage area once again. Devil with him. And this is more of a default play coming from Gambit right now. They haven't actually done too much in terms of set executions. It's all to be more working the picks, getting the splits going, and Waylander doing some fantastic work with his positional control.
Kenny and Devil looking for the same approach this time. They've chiseled into that economy slightly. They've halved it, but they're still around in hand at least for Gambit, if not 2. In this situation, MBK, that's why we call it that spot. He's got Happy to play off of, and as you can see it in the distance, Apex.
Here he comes. Yeah,
climbing back up highway. And it is going to be the boost toward middle. Devil's going to do the same thing again. There's no Molotov timing. In turn, he's going to drop it so they can't push him, so he can focus elsewhere, but Adren's there. It's Apex to pop back out. Same bait and switch, but this time not quite as effective. Thankfully for EnVyUs' side, they won't push through the vents immediately after it, but they will flash off Apex. Mid's down. It's all on Kenny inside the B site. Happy's found one, as has Kenny. And a late smoke's going to delay them. Hooch is going to take the fight, though. He wants in early because he knows the rotation's coming. He knows it's going to be a threat. Happy's going to spot the foot going by the smoke, and he pops out. It's all down and done.
Staying alive here just about. They're losing those initial frags, but Apex did just enough there to distract and slow them down as they went towards that B split. Kenny found one. It looked like he was struggling a little bit onto the side there, and Happy with some audacious play through the smoke there. Does back him up and seal the deal as they get their 12th round on the board. It's a terrorist timeout now, so Gambit taking time just to work out how they're going to approach the situation. Obviously now it's, 3 rounds in a row for EnVyUs after hitting match point for Gambit.
One of the things we discussed at the end of the first half as well was Kenny's contribution. He only had 4 kills. We said it wasn't an issue because they were still finding the rounds. Now it's starting to be a problem. Yes, he gets one in that round. It was a crucial one. It slowed down their entry, but he's still only at 8 kills, and a number of times he's been overwhelmed. But like you said, Waylander walking out, you'd think he's watching the vents, gets caught there, goes into the A side. He's playing at quad that round. No smokes come out. You think he has a clean line of sight.
Yeah.
In they go again. I think it was Hooch that came out from the door that time and got him. Like, he's definitely had issues connecting on these fast, high-pressure shots.
Well, they seem a little bit more revitalized now. They're actually taking control of the A storage, like, like aggressively almost every single time. It seemed like they kind of said, well, we've got nothing to lose now. We might as well keep trying, keep this aggression. It's working. We're finding the first picks here, and actually this synergy between the vents and the mid area is working pretty well as well. They're timing it quite nicely. Devil and Apex coordinating between each other and actually finding the kills there and getting a lot of information just as the B split comes in as well. So that's great for their teammates. Happy with some big plays through the smoke there. That's actually quite impressive for him and actually saving the life of his teammates as well. So they've got 3 rounds to go. The money's still very strong for Gambit. I think, look right now, they're going to be in a full buy with no AWP this time. They went for the kind of fake execution now. I think that they're overthinking this situation a little bit too much. They're trying to just do everything they can to outsmart EnVyUs right now. I feel like just a simple execution with the smokes, something that doesn't have to be all over the top. They can just do 2 smokes towards highway, 1 towards quad, try and stay as a unit and just work the frags that way. They're trying to overplay every sort of situation right now, in my opinion. We'll see what they bring to the table once this pause comes in. I think we are getting back into the game right now. 10 seconds remain. Kenny is still on the AWP. Like you said, 8 frags. It's been one of the poorest showings we've seen from him not only this whole tournament, the last 2 or 3 events. He's had a great 2016 just in terms of individual performance. It's been the rest of his team that have been lackluster. So
I mean, that's one of the weird stories, right? I mean, Kenny comes over originally not playing well. They lose in the finals of their first major with this, well, not even this roster. Now the Devil's here, but the first roster shuffle when they brought in Kenny and Apex, Cologne obviously, and he was very hard on himself for not having a good performance. He plays better at Cluj. They win that. And ever since then, it's been he and Apex, the new guys, that have actually been doing the bulk of the heavy lifting for this team. The rest of them seem to be in tatters, and oftentimes you wonder if their personalities clash. But 3 rounds is the goal, the only goal. The mandatory task in front of EnVyUs right now is Waylander's going to fall away from that B tunnels early, given that the Molotov was dropped down and deployed from the CT side quite quickly, as well as a smoke on the initial entry. And it's more passive this time. Devil and Kenny going to go back toward that platform. Meanwhile, on A side, they've already distracted and pulled Apex up toward the top of highway, which means Waylander, who's poised and ready inside mid right now, could lurk out and try and take some highway control if they're not careful of this.
That's it. The execution actually coming in right now. MBK have a lovely shot into Adren by himself as well. The way of the rest of his teammates, he gets taken down 5 on 4. No one's committing. What is this?
That's lackluster performance because he's on his own. They do get one trade onto Apex, but he found Mo unsuspectingly in the corner. There's the play from Waylander. They left the mid open. He does come up the highway, but look at NBK with 2 quick kills. Both on the entry from his left side, and now he knows exactly where Waylander's playing from. And now the economy becomes a factor because they have chiseled it away from Gambit. They should be able to control the situation in the next, but it's going to be an aid from Kenny. Flank was there from Devil if not.
We've always talked about the communication being an issue for Team Gambit. Obviously, they've got a massive array of different nationalities there. And it's, why is Adren jumping out A main by himself? I was trying to work out what the hell that was. It's not like they're setting up for a fake. They haven't got people on the other side of the map. They just had Waylando who's doing the lurk play. But it was very, very strange play. MBK have a lovely shot here from his coin position. And the bomb goes down. That looked a little bit too easy. They kind of went for the right idea, like I said. Go for a simple A execution to stay together, make sure you're trading frags. If they had actually done that, I think that round would have worked out for them. Running out 1 by 1 and then not being assertive is not the way to do it. Kenny is about to be tested now. AK rush straight towards B. Why not? He gets taken down to 6 HP, but does survive.
That was a day shift, and what is that from Kenny S? He gets Waylander on the way through. They had no idea he would be at the small pit. He was a sitting duck afterwards, but at least something for him to cheer about. Apex, this is good timing. He's come back through the vents early, but does he know? I'm not sure he's aware that Hooch had already pushed through. Happy finds him immediately after. But if Apex could have stayed alive in that position, it could have been an absolute thorn in the side of Gambit, who now finally have control of the B site. And with a bomb going down, it's going to be 3v3 on the retake. And EnVyUs, this is massive pressure. This is their biggest task yet. Kits on all 3. Devil's made his way through the vents already. He's going to try and get as much information as possible. Happy's going to go ahead and Molotov off the box behind him so he doesn't have to worry about any chance of anyone sitting and trying to use timing. That allows him to go in. And Devil, he's going to try and raise hell, but Adren's not going to allow it. As he goes ahead and gets immediately back into him. Leave it to Happy to find the refrag, but it's Adren to close it out. And EnVyUs are done. Gambit lives on.
Unbelievable. That's it. EnVyUs have been knocked out of the major. The current champions going home in the group stages to Gambit Gaming. No disrespect to them, it's just not a result you expect to hear. And somehow it's the B rush in the end. Is all it takes to actually take the win here against EnVyUs. You can see the look on their face. What does this mean for the future of this team, Matt?
And a little bit of emotion shown. It looked like they thought they could do it, that they got the momentum going, and this is not at all what they would have expected, what no one would have expected.
They lost to CLG yesterday, and today it's Gambit. Teams you would expect these guys to be heads and shoulders above, but
I mean, you have to put a scope on this team now. What happens? What happens next? We know the French have done many roster shuffles in the past. You go to very games, you have the Titan deal, then you go to the LDLC teams. They all get shuffled around. They've already done a shuffle within those two teams. Where else do they go? Where else can they go? And what is going to happen? I mean, this is big.
I wish I knew. Like, this is a massive problem for them right now. It's not like it's a one-off event. The last two or three events have been absolutely shocking. The whole of 2016 has been completely lackluster. Not just in the sense of bad, it's dire. Like, they're going out in group stages consistently now and losing to NRG mixes, they're losing to Gambit, they're losing to CLG. Teams, we expect them to actually run over.
This is the thing. I mean, we were talking about Virtus Pro slump at the start of this year. I think this is way worse. When you put the put this into perspective, this just happened at a major. They just went last place in a major. On the flip side of that, we do have to give credit to Gambit.
Of course.
We absolutely
amazing.
do. Waylander was sick. That's one of the best games I've seen in this tournament so far from an individual player. I mean, in the qualifier, even we weren't giving them a chance at times, but their timings aren't terrible. They've got good flashes through. Like you said, they did lack some execution there still, and sure the slump from EnVyUs kind of gave them a chance in this, but credit where credit's due. They now live on in this group. They were a new roster put together after Cluj. They're the newest roster in this tournament. And that's, I mean, this is big for them. This when you look at who else is in this group, CLG, you have to think there's a chance for them in that. So
of course.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure everybody else is. This just got very, very interesting because not only that, another French team's on the chopping block. But first, let's hear from Gambit. Let's hear from Hooch. He's standing by with Red Eye.
Thank you very much, Hooch. Congratulations on an amazing victory. When you had to play Envy, when you looked at the draw, they're the defending champions. They're not in the best of shape, but it must have been a tough game for you to look at. So how did you approach it?
Well, we have a really nice group, really tough teams. Australia is a really good team. Envy was last winner, and CLG also a very good team. But we knew we could make it, even at least win one match. But when Envy lost to CLG with a really bad City side, after even we lost 6-9 as City, after a 5-0 lead, almost like against Australis, I was feeling confident that we can make it. And we took 15 rounds, but then we choked and couldn't do one normal round. But thanks to Adrian, he saved our life. And also credits to Waylander, who was really disappointed with the match yesterday, but he just wrecked them.
Yeah, he definitely stepped up today. So looking forward into the group, it's a really bad group for you, or it was a bad group with such great teams in it. But potentially now you get a match against one of the other two in the group. It could be CLG, more likely CLG, I would suggest.
More likely CLG, but they're really in good shape and anything can happen. But this is major. There is no easy groups. All the best teams are here, and you can be happy or unhappy with your group. I mean, D group is really hard, but our group is really hard too. So it's major.
Many fans would have looked at the group and would have said, Gambit, well, yeah, probably going to go out in fourth in this group. You haven't done that now. You've got a shot at making the quarterfinals. Realistically, how far can Gambit make it?
I don't make predictions about my team, but at qualifier, everyone was saying that we're going to go out first in group, and we proved them wrong. Now I hope we will do the same, just it.
Got any messages for Thorin, maybe? Does Thorin rate you?
Thorin? I don't know Thorin for a long time. He's a good guy. Sometimes he's just too much, but it's okay. That's why people love him. So just hi, Thorin.
All right. Well, there you go. Hi, Thorin. Let's go over to the desk with Sir Scoots and find out whether Thorin rates the Gambit rate.